உங்களுக்கு எங்க வேலை பார்த்தது அப்போ ஆர்டிஸ்ட் கன்ஸ்லயா என்னாச்சு?
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Today let us continue our third chapter, chromosomal basis of inheritance. So in this first we have to see about them. So this is the two persons, Sutton and Boveri. Actually they proposed the chromosomal theory. So this Boveri actually 1902, he was responsible for developing the chromosomal theory of inheritance, and W.S. Sutton in 1902 independently recognized. Somebody is talking, I think, ma.
நான் வந்துட்டேன்.
Okay, W.S. Sutton, 1902, independently recognized a parallelism between the behavior of chromosomes and Mendelian factor. The Sutton and Boveri in 1903 independently proposed the chromosome theory of inheritance. Sutton united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principles and called it as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. So these two people proposed chromosomal theory, but this chromosomal theory is automatically, it is mingled with the Mendelian concept of the chromosomal segregation, that is the law of segregation. So based on the theory only, they proposed this chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, what are the salient features of the chromosomal theory of inheritance means? These somatic cells of organism consist of two identical sets of chromosomes. You already know. So all the cells consist of two identical sets of chromosomes. So what is the total number of chromosomes in a human body? 46, you know. So otherwise you can call it as a 23 pairs. Okay, yeah. So the 23 pairs, 123 pair actually coming from the male parent, another 23 is coming from the female parent. So that is only given here. So one set is received from the female and the other from the male. In this, each chromosome constitute a homologous pair. So we can call this as a homologous pair. So these chromosomes retain their structural uniqueness and individuality throughout the life cycle of an organism. And each chromosome carries a specific determinants or Mendelian factors which are now termed as genes. Just now we termed this as a genes, but first when the identification time and all, Mendel doesn't know the name of the genes. Instead of that, he gave us factors. Okay, yeah. So now only we know this is about only because of the genes. The behavior of chromosomes during the gametic formation provides the evidences that the genes or factors are located on chromosomes. So the segregation factors, that behavior of the chromosomes, easily we can identify at the time of meiosis. These all the factors, all the genes are located in the chromosomes. So these are the salient features of the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, let us see the support for the chromosomal theory of heredity. So here the Thomas Hunt Morgan in 1910 on the fruit fly Drosophila melanogaster. You all know this is, we can call it as a fruit fly. Suppose if you kept any fruit, means you can see a minute insects, that is just like a mosquito. You can see a small insects surrounding that fruits. So that we can call it as a fruit fly. So the name of the fruit fly is the Drosophila melanogaster. So here Thomas Hunt Morgan done an experiment in the Drosophila, and the gene for the red and white eye color are present on the X chromosomes only, but it is absent in the Y chromosome. So the color of the eye, the Drosophila color of the eye, red color, is responsible. It is located in which gene? X gene. Okay, but it is not present in the Y gene. The study support that genes located on chromosomes. So from this, we already know all the genes are located on the chromosomes. Also, it is an example for the sex linkage. Okay, sex linkage means that XY combinations. Okay, here you see this diagram. Here we have to take a parent, red-eyed female. So this female has a red color eye, and this white-eyed male. So it is having a white color. So actually, you already know if it is a female means the combination must be an XX. So due to the red color, the chromosome also it is red in color. But here, if it is male, it consists of one X chromosome and then one Y chromosome. Okay, so before the gametic formation, it has to separate into eggs and sperms. So individually, it is separating in X and then here X and this also X and here Y. Okay, then the fusion occurs. So here you notice this is combined with this, X is combined with this one. So actually it consists of an capital R and small r. So it consists of a red color, so red-eyed female. And then second, you see from here and this one, and this also having a capital R, small r, it is a red-eyed female. And then next you can see this is this one and this one, you can see a red color, and this is a male Y. Okay, so due to the presence of a red color X, so this is a red-eyed male. And then next this one and this one, again we can get a red-eyed males. So in the F1 generation, we got all red-eyed male. Okay, yeah. So because of the presence of a dominant capital R, we are getting the red color eyed males and females are different, but only the color all are, we are getting the red color. Okay, then again we are having the next generation. So here you can see that again the gametic formation X and sperm. Suppose if you take this gamete means it will be separate like this X and this one. And if you are taking this means red color and then this one. Okay, so again the combination, if you see this two combined means you will get a capital R, red-eyed female. And then next one you are getting this one XX means actually this is also red-eyed female. And then next, if you are taking this one means you are getting a red-eyed male. Again, from this and this means you will get a white-eyed male. Okay, so this is actually here they are giving the chromosomal, that is a somatic chromosomes means somatic chromosomes are called the body chromosomes, and then sex chromosomes are, if it is an female means you will get a XX chromosome. If it is a male means you will get a X and Y chromosomes. The other remaining are the body chromosomes. Okay, yeah. So the from this F2 we are getting red-eyed females and a red-eyed male and then white-eyed male. Okay. So from this, nothing he is going to tell. The heredity, that a character is transferred from one generation to next generation through the genes. The genes are located in the chromosomes. Okay, yeah. So this study support the genes are located on the chromosome, and this is a sex link. Okay, because the red color is mixed with the X. Okay, yeah, this female. So this is an example for that one. Next, you have to concentrate this one. So this is the chromosome 1. So this chromosome here, the same genes are present in the same order. Okay. So this is just, they have given the structure of the DNA. So this is nothing but this you already know. This is guanine, cytosine, adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, adenine. So this is the sequence. You already know if it is a double helical means, so in between definitely you can see the nitrogenous bases. So this we can call it as an allele A. Then you see here this is an homologous chromosomes, and but here suppose if you are taking these two chromosomes means these are called the non-homologous chromosomes. Okay, yeah. These two alone means you can call it as an homologous, and these two means you can call it as an homologous, and this also homologous. But if you are taking this and this means this is called what it is, non-homologous chromosomes. Okay, yeah. And then definitely the arrangement of the gene, the different DNA sequence also different. That is the formation segregation. So because the alternative means they must have an opposite side of the arrangement of the genes must be there. Okay, so just for that only you have to know the name of that. What do you mean by homologous and what is non-homologous? For that only they have given this picture. Okay, and next let us see the differences between the Mendelian factor and then chromosomes behavior. So first point, alleles of a factor occurs in a pair. So imagine, suppose if you are taking one gamete means, let us take a monohybrid cross. So if you are take one gamete means within that you must have a capital T and a capital T. So the alleles of a pair, factors means that genes that occurs in a pair. Okay. Here the chromosomes are also occurs in pairs, so that only here we are telling the homologous chromosome and non-homologous chromosome. So this also occurs in pair, and similar or dissimilar alleles of a factor separate during the gametic formation. So if it is a capital T or capital T, otherwise capital T or small t, so that is a similar gamete or the dissimilar gamete, whatever it may be, they will be separate during gametic formation. So capital T also separate during gametic formation. If it is an capital T small t also, it will segregate at the time of a gametic formation. But here the homologous chromosomes separate during meiosis. Here like that there is no segregation of genes. Instead of that, the chromosomes are separate only during meiosis. Meiosis you already know, the centromere is present in the middle. So single chromosome again divided into two category, that is the chromatid and non-sister chromatid. So that is only here they mention. So they are not at all separate, but they combined in the middle, but they separate at the time of the meiosis. And the third point, Mendelian factors can assort independently. So these factors, these genes can be, suppose if it is in capital or small, that is a dihybrid cross, capital R, small r, and capital Y, small y, means all four are present within the same gamete, but all these four gamete alleles are not mingled or they are blending with each other. These factors assort independently. They will be independently dividing and going, and when they enter into the gametic formation, that time only the dominant and recessive character will be expressed. Okay. Here, the paired chromosomes can separate independently during the meiosis, but the linked genes in the same chromosomes normally do not assert independently. The chromosomes can be, meiosis time, it can be separate. But suppose you imagine, so the arrangement of the gene within one chromosome, suppose the arrangement of the gene within one chromosome, this chromosome pattern does not separate, the chromosome order does not change. So that is the difference of your chromosome behavior. Okay, let us move to the next one. Gene and chromosome behavior during cell division. This mitosis and meiosis, last year clearly we studied this phase 1 and phase 1, phase 2, everything we studied with the same type of colors and all we draw and studied. Okay, so let us see these points alone. So the alleles of a genotype are found in the same locus of a homologous chromosome, that is a capital A or small a. So the alleles of a genotype. So suppose you are taking, I think you know the meaning for the locus. Suppose if you are taking one chromosome, suppose imagine, so here they mention no, so this place actually the location of, imagine this is a capital A. So this is the locus for the capital A, and this may be the locus for the small a. Locus means the particular place present, the genes are present in the chromosome. Okay. So the alleles of a genotype found in the same locus of a homologous chromosomes. So they may be present in the same chromosome or homologous chromosome in the S phase of meiotic interphase. Interphase, you know, in between the phase of the next two divisions. Okay, each chromosomes replicates forming two copies of each allele. There is a capital A, and then small a, small a. So after that only, first time they are singular only. So single only. After that, pair is actually they multiply, replicate into the two copies. Okay, the homologous chromosomes segregate in anaphase 1, thereby separating two different alleles, capital A, and small a. So in anaphase 1 only, the homologous chromosomes are segregate, because in anaphase only there is a centromere division. I think you maybe remember this and all. And in anaphase 2 of meiosis, the separation of sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes takes place. Therefore, each daughter cell carries only a single allele of a character, A and small a. So in anaphase, you already know, first anaphase it does not divide. Okay, yeah. And then anaphase meiosis 2, in anaphase 2 only they are dividing. This centromere division happens. So you are getting a capital A and small a. Four alleles are separate. Okay, here you can see a separate alleles, you can see. Okay. And then next, actually, this is a number of chromosome in an organism. So how many chromosomes are present? That is the highest one and then smallest one. So this is an this tabulation. It's very important. Many one mark questions, many times they have asked from this tabulation only. So the first Aedes trunk fan, that is the Ophioglossum. It consists of 1,262. So this is the Ophioglossum plant. So this plant consists of a highest number of chromosome, that is the 1,262. Okay, yeah. And then, so this is actually the Haplopappus gracilis. Here, this scientific name Haplopappus gracilis. That family is a Compositae. This is the yellow spiny daisy. You already told this daisy flower, no? That small daisy flower consists of only 4 chromosomes. In between, you can find the sugarcane, apple, rice, potato, giant sequoia. I think you may remember this one. So that is Sequoia giganticum, that the tallest tree. Even this also consists of a 22 chromosomes only. And then potato, maize, onion. So you have to memorize the numbers of the chromosome. So the highest one and this is the least one. So these are the Ophioglossum and this is the Haplopappus gracilis. And next we have to see about the linkage. Okay, so the meaning of the linkage means eneythal. Okay, linkage means that is coupling. Okay, so it is one of the Mendel's deviation concept against the law of independent assortment. Okay, so what is the law of independent assortment? The alleles are present same in the gamete, but at the time of gametic formation they short out independently and they enter into the another gamete. So that is the independent assortment, but here we may find out some deviation. Okay, so the tendency of genes to stay together during the separation of chromosome is called the linkage. So the in linkage the chromosomes are not separate, but they stay together. Okay, so we can call it as a linkage. So the genes do not independently assort out. Okay, so it was reported in sweet pea, that is the Lathrace odoratus, Inipu patani. Okay, Lathrace odoratus by William Batson and Reginald C. Punnett in 1906. Okay, so they have done this experiment and they have taken purple flower, long pollen crossed with a red flower and a round pollen. That is that capital dominant purple flower, capital P, and then long pollen, capital L. So automatically the recessive will get the small alphabets. Okay, so the F2 progeny is actually we have to get, if it is a proper one means we have to get 9:3:3:1. Instead of that we are getting only 1:1:1:1 ratio. Okay, yeah. So this is actually due to the linkage that gametes stay together and they are not segregate from each other. Okay. Okay, here and again you can see the arrangement of linked and unlinked genes on your chromosomes. Here you can find this is one chromosome. Here you can see the linked genes. So the genes are they lying close to each other, gene 1 and gene 2. Okay, But here this unlinked, the one chromosome, gene 2 is present in this chromosome and gene 1 is present here. So automatically this is a separate one and the placement also separate. Okay, so this is unlinked one. And here also within one chromosome, but the locus of the gene, one gene locus is here, that is a gene 1. Another gene locus is here, this is a gene 2. So this is also we can call it as the unlinked genes. Okay, so the linked genes means definitely it must be closed together. Unlinked genes are syntenic genes sufficiently far apart. One here and another here, otherwise one here, another here. Okay, so it is differed by recombination frequency value. Okay, so we can see the recombination frequency value afterwards. So more than 50% unlinked genes and less than 50% linked genes must be there. These examples let us see afterwards. Okay. So this is the cis trans arrangement of genes. So this is a coupling or otherwise the cis configuration. Okay, yeah. The two dominant or recessive alleles present on same chromosome of homologous inherit together into same gamete. You see here. So here you can see this chromosome consists of capital A, capital B, but here it is a small a, small b. Okay, yeah. So actually this is a homologous chromosomes and it is consists of same dominant allele. Here it is the same recessive allele. Okay, yeah. So they are coupling together, so they can go to the next gamete without any separation. Okay, and a repulsion or the trans configuration means two dominant or recessive alleles present on different but same homologous chromosome inherit apart into different gamete. Here you can see this is present apart. It is not lying together, capital A and small b, and then small a and capital B. They are same chromosome only, but they are present in far away. At the time of gametic formation, they may be separated and go to the different gamete. There is so many possibilities are there. So this is actually what you can call coupling or repulsion. Otherwise, the other name for coupling is cis configuration. The other name for repulsion is the trans configuration. And you can see an example for the alleles in a coupling or cis configuration. There we already saw in Lathrace odoratus, that is a sweet pea. They have chosen the purple flower long pollen. The flower is purple and the pollen is long. And another parent, actually this is the red flower and round pollen. Okay, so these two are the parental combination. And here we can see the capital P, capital L, and then again capital P, capital L. Here small p, small l, and small p, small l. Here you can see that gene combination. So it is present homologous pass. Here also it is an homozygous parent. Homozygous parent. Okay. You see here. So at the time of gametic formation, only one will be come out. Okay, so here from this you will get this one, and from this you will get this one. Okay, so in the F1 generation you will get this capital P, capital L, and then this small p, small l. So here we can get the dominant character. So in the F1 generation we are getting purple flower and long pollen. Even the another also we are getting the same purple flower and long pollen. So F1 generation all we can get purple flower and long pollen. So suppose if we want to check the character of the parents, okay, yeah. So for that we have to do the test cross, okay, yeah. We have to, that is a pure breeding, whether the parents are having pure breeding. For that we have to check the test cross. For that test cross, what we have to do, the F1 generation has to be crossed with the recessive parent. Last lesson itself we studied. So the F1 parent must be crossed with the recessive parent. Okay. So the purple flower long pollen, we have taken this one. Capital P, capital L, and small p, small l. It is crossed with red flower and round pollen. Okay, but it is given wrong here. This picture is wrong. So it must be a round one. Here also it is changed. Okay. You see here, this is a long pollen. The diagram must be come here, and then here this is a round pollen. The diagram has to be come here. Okay, so the F1 is crossed with a residue parent. Again here the gametic formation, so you will get a capital P, capital L, and then capital P. The same combination one has to come, and then capital P, small l, and then capital L, and then small p here, and then small p, small l. 4 gametes are coming. Okay, and here from this you will get only one, that is a red flower and round pollen. Okay, after fertilization we will get, so we have to combine this one, this and this combine means we will get a purple lung, because that dominant characters are here. So when we mix these two means we will get a purple lung, and the second combination we will get the purple round. Second combination we will get the purple round, and the third combination again we will get a red long. Okay, because the presence of a capital L we will get the red long, and the last from these two we are getting the red round. Okay, yeah. So from this you can see, so the first, the purple long and then red round pollen are the parental combination. So this is the first one and this is the last one. These two are the parental combination. But in between these two, this purple round, here purple long only, but we are getting purple round here, and then red long. Okay, yeah, here red long. These two are the recombinant progeny. These two are the recombinant progeny. Okay, yeah. So here from the 100 offsprings, we are getting this 88, 44 and 44. 88 we are getting the parental combination. Only the recombinant progeny. The recombinant progeny is a less, that is the 12 it is coming. Okay. மா ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா, வெளியில வந்துருச்சாமா? மா ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதா? மா ஸ்கிரீன் தெரியுதாப்பா? Students, are you able to hear me? Okay, ma. So here we can get, instead of 9:3:3:1, we are getting 7:1:1:7. Okay, so the expected ratio after the completion of the test cross result, we have to get 1:1:1:1. But here we are getting 7:1:1:7. Okay, yeah. So because the parental combinations are more, only the less recombinant progeny we are getting. Okay, yeah. So this actually, this ratio of that coupling ratio is a repeated one mark question. 7:1:1:7. Okay, let us see the next one. Here alleles of the repulsion or trans configuration, that is the coupling and this is the repulsion. Okay, here we have to take the purple flower round pollen, somewhat changed here, purple flower round pollen, and it is crossed with the red flower long pollen. Okay, here we are taking parents like this. Okay, so what is the combination? Purple means capital P, and then red color means we are getting this small yellow, and here also this red flower and long pollen present here, so that we are having that, which one? Capital L. Okay, so here parent like this. So at the time of gametic formation we are getting a single one. So in the F1 generation, This one capital P and then small l and then small p capital L. Whatever it may be, we are getting the combination of a dominant capital P purple and a capital L long pollen. So in the F1 combination, we are getting a purple flower long pollen. Purple flower long pollen we are getting. Okay. And then let us see the test cross. So F1 generation, again it has to be crossed with the recessive parent. Okay, yeah. A recessive parent. So here the recessive parent is a red flower and then round pollen. So here we have to take the F1, what it is, capital P small l and then small p capital L. It is crossed with the small p small l small p small l. Okay, yeah. Here you can see the gametes are separated like this. First one is the capital P capital L and second capital P small l small p capital L and then small p small l. Here we are getting only one gamete. So from this we have to combine like this, capital P capital L and then small p small l. And here again this one, capital P small l and then small p small l. And here this is small p capital L and then small p, here it has to come small l only. Okay, and the last one capital small p small l and then small p small l. Okay, here you see the purple long and then purple round. Okay, yeah. So here the dominant here purple round. Here you can see the L. So you will get a red color. So here the small p. So it is a red in color, red long. But here it is a red round. Okay. So here what is the parental combination? Purple flower and round pollen. Purple flower and round pollen is one parent, and in red flower and long pollen, red flower and long pollen is the another parent. So here also the middle, these two are actually the parental combination, but these two are recombinant here. Okay, in this process these two are recombinant and the middle two is the parental combination. Okay, so the recombinant progeny here 6, the middle parental combination 44, 44 and 6. So here the observed ratio is 1:7:7:1. Instead, what is the expected ratio? If it is a test cross means we have to get 1:1:1:1. Instead of that, we are getting 1:7:7:1. So this is also an important, that is the repulsion ratio. So what is the coupling ratio? 7:1:1:7. But repulsion ratio is the 1:7:7:1. Okay, keep it in mind. Even 5 mark also they will ask this question. Okay, next let us see about the kinds of linkage. Okay, so complete linkage and incomplete linkage. So what is complete linkage? The genes located very close together and do not exhibit crossing over. So the genes are present. There you see the first diagram, the homologous chromosome, they are lying closer together. So there is no possibility of a crossing over. You see here. So you see here, so here the genes are present very close together, so there is no possibility of a crossing over here. So that is the one. Suppose if it is present like this means automatically the easily can be crossing over can be occurred. Okay, so the genes located very close to each together and do not exhibit crossing over. What is incomplete linkage means? The genes located sufficiently apart and they exhibit some crossing over. You see one from one gene is one chromosome and another is another one. Okay, yeah. So this is actually reported in the Drosophila melanogaster, but here this is incomplete linkage is reported in the maize. Okay. So this complete linkage was given by C.B. Bridges 1990 and this is given by Hutchinson. And this is actually again 1 mark tabulation, linkage groups that corresponds of haploid sets of chromosomes, name of organisms and linkage groups. So mucor, this is an fungi. So it consists of 2 linkage groups and Drosophila 4 and sweet pea, Lathrace odoratus 7 and Neurospora, here it's 7 and then maize also 10. Okay. So this you have to again memorize. Next, let us see that the complete linkage and incomplete. So the complete linkage in male Drosophila. Here the parental generation, here it consists of a Drosophila, again the fruit fly. So the fruit fly consists of a red eye and vestigial wings. So here you can see the wings are somewhat long, but here the wings are very short wings. That wings we can call it as an vestigial wings. Okay, so the red eye vestigial wings and purple eye long wings. Okay, and here the red eye vestigial wings, capital R and then small l, capital R small l, because it is not long, so it is given a vestigial, and purple